Hi, thank you so much for showing so much love to my 30 days and 50 days SQL challenge series. I have taken a new challenge after a long break. In this challenge, I'll be focusing on solving SQL, Python, Excel's interview question. Today is the day one, and I'll be solving SQL problem that was asked in Amazon interview to one of my students. So let's see the question. So this is the question I have received from my student. Now you can see the question says, consider the table student batch which contains information about the student enrollment. Now the table has student ID, course ID, the instructor ID and the enrollment date. Now we need to write a query to get the list of student IDs who had enrolled in all the courses available in 2019. Suppose there are 10 courses available in 2019. The query should return the student IDs who were enrolled in all the courses. Now let's see the table and the data. Now you can see I have created this table. In this table I have student ID, course ID and the enrollment year. So now you can see the enrollment years basically vary from 2019 to 2020, and these are the student IDs who enroll these courses, and these are basically the course ID. Now what we need to find out all the student IDs who enroll all the courses of 2019. Now if there are 10 courses in 2019, the student that we will select, they should be enrolling in all those 10 courses. So let's write down the approach that we can use to solve this question. Okay, so first we can basically find out the student ID and basically the course they have enrolled using simply group by the student ID. Okay, so we can go ahead and say student ID what we need, and basically we can use a count function on this course ID. In this course ID we can use a basically count functions, and we can do a group by the student ID. Okay, so we can group by this one which is student ID, and we can count on this course ID. That's how we can see each student and the number of courses they have enrolled. Now we just need to filter the data for 2019, so we can go ahead and filter the data for 2019 before doing the group by. Okay, so after that we will have each student ID and number of courses they have enrolled. Okay, then we can compare it with the total count of the course that we have distinct course in 2019. So then we just need to find out basically the total D course count of 2019, and then we basically can compare this query and this query. Basically compare 1 and equals 2. Okay, so this is what we need to do to compare it. We can use a having conditions here. Okay, now let's see how we can write our query. So I will first need the student ID, which is this one, student ID, and then I need basically count of basically course ID. Okay, so and I just need to do a group by this student ID, because I want to see each student ID and their count of basically the course ID, basically each student ID and how many courses they have enrolled. Okay, now if I just run this query, I almost get basically the answer, which is student ID and the number of courses they have enrolled in their lifetime. Now we just need to select the data for 2019, so we can go ahead and say basically where enrollment year equals 2019. Now if we just run this query, it's going to select the data only for 2019. Now in 2019 each student ID we have and the number of courses they have enrolled. Now we may have duplicate values, so I can basically change it to basically distinct count. Okay, distinct count to see basically each student and how many distinct courses they have enrolled. Okay, so let's run this query again. So now you can see each student ID and their distinct count, like this student has enrolled in 10 courses, this one also has enrolled in 10 courses, this 3 and 4 student has enrolled only 8 and 9 courses. So basically we just need to select these 2 courses, right? Now how? Let's see how. So let's see how many distinct courses we have. Okay, so I can go ahead and say basically count and distinct course ID from this student batch table. This query is going to give me basically the count of course I have, right? So the total course. Oops. So I just need to run from here to here. So let's see the total course we have. So total course we have, I think seems to be 10 courses we have. Now I can also filter the data by 2019. Let's see how many courses we have in 2019. So now you can see in 2019 we have 10 courses. So we need to select those student IDs and their count if they have enrolled in 10 courses. So I can simply use a having basically functions. Okay, having functions on this column, on this count, to basically select those student ID who enrolled in total 10 courses. So I can go ahead and say having. Now in having, one thing you need to remember, you cannot use the alias. So you need to basically copy this this code. So I can use this code and I can go ahead and say having equals 10, or I can basically replace with this query as a sub query. So let's say if I just use this as a 10, let's see if this works or not. Now this will return basically each student ID and their count of course they have enrolled in 2019, and that has to be 10. So if they have enrolled 10, then we have this answer. Okay, now here I can use a sub query, and instead of putting this 10, I can basically put this whole query here. Okay, so let me just organize it. Now you can see that basically this query is going to return 10, which is basically the total course available of 2019, and this query is going to basically select those student ID and their number of course they have enrolled only if they have enrolled for 10 courses. See here I am basically using this filter right on this column. Okay, now I can ignore this column if I don't need this column. Okay, I can ignore this column because in result we only need to show basically the student ID. So I can go ahead and now run this query. So this will basically select those students who enroll all the available course of 2019. So let's see the results. So here is the result. You can see we have two students who enroll all the 10 courses that we have available in 2019. So this is how we can solve this type of complex interview questions. So now we have some more questions. Let's see. So the second questions we have, which is basically this one. Consider the following tables 1 and table 2 with the column with one column in each table. So table 1 has one column which is called C1, and the data type is basically int, and similarly in table 2 we have one column which is called C2, the column name, but the data type is basically varchar here. Okay, though it is a number, but the data type is varchar. Okay, now there is a basically question. The question is says that what will be the output for this query. So now let's see the query. The query says basically it's doing a left join basically, and it is selecting basically the one column from the left table. You can see here the table 1 and C. So basically it's selecting this column from basically the left side table, and it's basically doing a left join between this table and this table. Now you see, if you see the join condition, it says left join T2. Okay, so we are joining basically T1 and T2 on the condition of T1, basically T1 of this column, which is the first table of this column, equals to basically second table of this column. Now in the second table the data type is not int, right? So it's a varchar, so basically we have to convert the data type to make the join. Okay, now here you can see they're using a cast to convert this number into int, then it is comparing. So we just need to predict what would be the output of basically this query. Now I have created an Excel sheet to basically explain this in more clearly and more details. So this is the table 1. You can see in the table 1 we have basically this data, which is 4, 6, 7, 9, 3 and 9. Okay, 9 basically twice. You can see 1, 9, 2, 9. Okay, now in the table 2 we have 1, 5, 9, 2, 2, 11. Now I have also noticed the same type of question being asked multiple times, and same type of question was also asked to me in one of the past interview. So I do remember same type of interview question can be asked. Now it's a very easy question. You just need to pay full attention to solve these questions. Okay, so what we are doing a join between this table and this table. Though this table has varchar data types, but we are basically using a cast to convert this data. Then we are basically doing a join. Okay, so here you can see. Now let's see what will be the output for this query. Okay, now you just need to remember, when you do a left join, first you get everything from the left table. Okay, so when you say everything, it's going to be basically 4. Okay, we'll be getting 4, we'll be getting 6, and we'll be getting 7. Okay, so let's see, we will be getting, let's first order the data. Okay, so we have basically in this table we have a smallest data, which is basically 3. So I'll be getting basically 3 first, and then I'll be getting basically 4. Okay, this is the output. Okay, then I'll be getting I think 6, then I'll be getting 7, then I'll be getting basically 9. We do not have 8, so then I'll be getting basically again 9. Okay, now let's see why. Because see, they have selected the column 1 of table 1. So basically this is what basically the output, this column we have selected as a output. Okay, in the left join what will happen, we will be getting each and every data that we have in the left table. That's the first thing. Okay, now basically we will compare this left side and the right side. Okay, so if we have 4 in this table, that's fine, that's great. Even if we do not have 4 in this table, still we will have this 4 in our output. Because why? Because this 4 exists in the left table. Similarly for 6, Similarly for 7, similarly for 9, similarly for again 9, okay, and similarly for 3. So we are getting all the records that we have in the left table. So this will be the output. Let's just copy this query. Let's go back to the pgadmin 4. Now I have created the table. Here you can see the table 1, and I have inserted the data in table 1. I have created the table 2 and inserted the data in table 2. Okay. Now this is the query. I have already written the query. Okay, which is from the table 1. We are getting the column 1, and we're joining first table, which is the table 1, left join with the table 2. So basically we should be getting everything from the first table of, okay, because we're doing a left join. Now let's run this query and let's see how many data we get. Now you can see we are getting 3, we are getting 4, 6, 7, 9, 9. Let's just match with our answer. 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 9. This is what we are getting if we select the column which is from table 1, column 1. Okay, we'll be doing a right join and we will see what we get in return. So we will change it to basically right join. And in the right join, first of all, you need to understand, in the right join you get everything from the right table, okay, and then you get the matching data from the left table, basically the matching rows from the left table. Now if in case we don't have any matching in the basically left table, we will be getting null. Okay, now as we have selected the column basically from the left table, but we are doing a right join, so basically we will be getting first of all the data, okay, from all the data. In the place of all the data we will be getting null, and then we will be getting whatever the matching values or records we have in the right table. So let's see what I'm trying to say. So let's say we have all this data, okay, so as it's a right join, so the output should look like this, which is this, and then we will try to see the matching values. Now the matching values, I think it only has a matching with 9, so it's going to be 9, and we will have basically one more 9 here. Okay, so I think it's only 9 what we have matching values. Okay, now what will happen, I will be getting null in all the places of all the numbers. Okay, now as I have only selected this column, okay, I have only selected this column which is from the right table, so this is what the output is going to be. Now let's try to do it here. Okay, so it's going to be right join, and if we do a right join, now let me just run this query. Now I just need table 1, column 1. Let's see. So we'll have 2, 9, and rest of the value we will have basically nulls. Now why we're having 2, 9 is basically because this 9 and this 9 match, right? Similarly this 9 will also match with this 9, so we will have basically both the 9 from this table, and we will have basically null in the rest of the numbers. Okay, now this is how the output looks like. Now I want you to answer this basically third question, which is going to be full outer join. What will be the output? Now you can write down your query in the comment box, and you can go to my GitHub to download this basically dataset. Just click the link in the video descriptions to download this dataset, and you can download and practice it. That's it for this video. If you have given any interview recently, and if you have any interview question which you can share with me, and I will include that in my basically future video. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video till the end, and if you really like my content, do subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me in Instagram. Have a good day. Take care.